Hi, Miss Saints.
How are you? Oh, no.
All right, listen. Chris. Okay, we're going to take notes on 2A. 2A notes and fair check. Title for 2A is literal equations and dimensional analysis. And I'll just preface today by saying that you're going to have to pay 100% total pay attention. Okay, because this stuff is not easy. Okay, it can and it will be difficult at times. Okay, you really need to pay attention to that. This is the last section in chapter 2. And basically, in my opinion, okay, everything that we've done up to this point in chapter 2 is leading up to this section right here. Okay, and the EOI test, ACT test, PSAT test, SAT test, okay, they're real big on this stuff right here. You're going to see a lot of it on there, okay? Literal equations and dimensional analysis. Okay, past skill that we're going to do is 1.1B. That's a B, not a 6. We'll solve equations for given variables that use formulas to solve real-world problems. Today's date is 10/20/14. Does anybody need more time with this? Okay, first example. Number 1. Okay, what do the instructions say? Somebody read them to me. Yeah.
Original equations.
No. What's it asking me to do?
Solve 5b plus 12c plus 9.
Okay, so I'm going to solve this equation for B. All right, does everybody understand that? Now, am I going to be able to find a number value for B? Why? Okay, because simply put, how many variables are there? There's 2. So you got 2 unknowns. There's no way we can solve this equation unless they told me what one of those variables was. Does that make sense? Now, in a sense, though, I can still solve this equation for B by simply just getting B by itself. You guys clear on that?
Yeah.
Okay? So, that being said, all I need to do is change this equation up a little bit and move some things around. Okay, so the first thing that I think is always helpful to me is identify where the variable is at. Okay, and then what's next to it? 5 is next to it. What else is next to it? A positive. Don't think of it in terms of plus 12c. Think of it in terms of a positive 12c. Because ultimately, what am I going to do? I need to get the variable B by itself. What do I need to do with everything else? Move it to the other side, move it away, right? Okay, so what can I move first, or what should I move first? Okay, so how do I move this 12C over to there? Very good. It's positive now, right? So do the inverse operation by subtracting 12C. Draw a line underneath it. You guys write this down. You're going to be lost. So now, what can I bring down? Yeah, can I combine these two?
No, they're not like terms.
Not like terms, are they? What is the 9 missing? It's the C, isn't it? So if I can't combine them, then just write it out. There's a couple different ways you could do that. You could say 9 minus 12C, or I could say negative 12C plus 9. Does that make sense? Well, we're not worried about the C though. We're just worried about the B right now. So that's what it's asking me to solve for, right? So basically, I just got to get the B by itself. What would I do next? 5 by 5. If I do something to one side, I do it to the other side. So I'm going to take that whole thing, 5 by 5. What am I left with? Is B isolated?
Yes.
By itself. So have I solved, technically, have I solved for B?
Yes.
Yes. Can I do anything else? No. Nothing else I can do. Got 2 unknowns. The only way I can do something is if I knew what one of the variables was. Very good. Does everybody see that? Now, have we done anything different than what you've learned up to this point? We haven't done anything different. What's with me? Paying attention. So start getting a little bit more involved. Write this one down. Okay, now, just by looking at it, which variable am I solving for? X, right? Got an X there, and I got an X there. I've got a problem here, don't I? Because they're kind of, in a way, they're 2 different terms. And I'm doing 2 different things to the X. Okay? What I need to do is I need to get the X's that I'm solving for, get them on the same side. Okay? So if I want to get these 2 X's together on the same side, what do I need to do? I want to plus XY to both sides. And it doesn't matter how you want to write it. You can put the XY in front as long as it stays what? What is it right here?
Positive.
So it just stays positive, right? Plus 7x. Does everybody understand why it's plus 7x? What is 7x up here? Positive. So the positive just turns into plus, is all it is. Think of it in terms of positive and negative terms. Okay? What else can I bring down? Equals 4. Good, because these 2 do what? Okay. My next step, now that I've got the variables that I'm solving for on the same side. Let's try to get everything else away from it. So, is there something else that I can move pretty easy? Very good. How? Add 2z to both sides, kind of like we did in the first problem. Okay? So now I get xy plus 7x. Those two cancel. Can I combine these two? So just write it out. 2z plus 4. How do I know it's a plus 4? This is positive. Good. Okay. Now, let's look at this. Do these, you guys watch this because this is where it gets a little bit involved. Do these two terms right here have something in common? What? They both have the same x. Can I not just take the x out of that and out of that and rewrite it like that? Why not? It's the same thing, isn't it? Isn't it?
Yep.
What is that, Michael? No. What property is that? That's distributed. How do I do distributed? X times y gives me x times 7 gives me. Isn't that the same thing that we just had originally? Now, would you agree with me that that's just multiplication? Would you guys agree with that? Okay, so watch what happens now. All I got to do now is the inverse of multiplication, which is division. What am I going to divide by? What happens to him over here? What am I left with? And I'm done. Hey, you think that's a lot? Wait until you get to algebra 2. That's pretty tame compared to what you're going to see in algebra 2. Not to mention calculus and algebra 3 and you're going to have to take algebra 2. You plan on going to college? I take algebra 2. I might even take something a little bit past that. Same. Any questions on this? You guys get this written down? If they need more time? Okay, application. Fuel economy. The car's fuel economy, which is capital E, is miles per gallon, is given by the formula E equals M over G, where M is what?
The number of miles driven.
Number of miles driven, and G is
The number of gallons.
okay. I want to solve this formula for miles. So again, all I need to do, notice I have 3 unknowns here, don't I?
Yeah.
I can still solve this for M by simply just getting it by itself. How? Both sides. Notice I'm putting parentheses around each thing on each side. Why do I do that? To show what? Multiplication. So multiply each side by G. Again, notice what happens. Cross simplify. G will go into itself how many times? It just basically cancels itself out. So what am I left with? M equals what? G times D. And I would just leave it in parentheses. Okay. Hope you wrote this down because you're going to need it for the next problem. The next part. Okay, remember what everything is. E is what? Economy. Fuel economy. M is number of miles. G is the gallons in my car that I'm using, right? Example 3B, fuel economy. The Kiwanis car has an average fuel consumption of 30 miles per gallon. Now, how can I write that?
30.
Can I write it as 30 M over, like so? This is literal equations. Write it down like this, just like this. Write it as 30 MI, stands for miles, over gallons. So for every, and you could put it like this. I could put a 1 in there. Okay? For every gallon of gas I have in my car, I can expect to get 30 miles. Or be able to drive 30 miles. That's pretty good gas mileage, isn't it? Okay? So now, let's say I've used 9.5 gallons. How far did I drive? So my end result, go ahead and put your equal sign down. My end result should be in what units of measurement? Should be in miles, shouldn't it? So what do I need to get rid of here? The miles or the gallons? The gallons. So if I take this and I multiply it times the 9.5 G, which stands for what? G stands for gallons over just over 1. Just write it as a fraction. Now, watch this. Can I cross simplify?
Yeah.
Gallons will take out what? Gallons. What am I left with? Isn't that what I want? You see how I'm doing that? So 30 times what? Gives me how much? I can't understand you.
285 miles.
385?
285.
I can't understand you got
285.
280.
Did you understand that? How many of you have used something like this in your biology class? How many of you are in chemistry? Probably nobody in chemistry, right? How many of you are in biology right now? Most everybody? Have you guys not used this yet?
Yeah.
We did.
You converted.
Yeah, last
Where do you use it the most? When you're converting units of what?
year.
Measurement. Milliliters to liters, ounces to pounds, so on and so forth. Okay? Literal equation. Remember that. Here's a problem you might see in science, in your biology class, or in zoology or something. Chimpanzees, the average weight of a chimpanzee at a zoo is 52 kilograms. You know what kilo means, right? Okay. If 1 gram equals 0.0353 ounces, use dimensional analysis to find the average weight of the chimpanzee in pounds. Okay? They give you a hint. What do they say? 1 pound equals what? Okay. All right, what's my end result have to be, guys? And it's always helpful for me to get the end result. What do I want? I want pounds. So pounds has got to be what? It's got to be on top, doesn't it? You with me? So 1 pound equals what? All right. Okay. And you're doing what? You're multiplying it, right? Grams to ounces. Again, what do I have to get rid of? What do I have to get rid of? So what needs to be on top? What's it tell me? Okay, so what goes on the bottom? Gram? Okay, so 1 gram is 0.0353. Now what? Kilograms to grams, right? Grams are gonna go where? Kilos on the bottom, right? So, right? And then the chimpanzee weighs 52 kilograms, right? Of 1. All right.
How many grams?
1,000 kilograms has 1 gram. With me? This is kilogram down there. But do you notice, what did I find? I want my end result in what? Pounds, what?
Okay, so you got kilograms.
Yeah, watch out. Watch
Is
this,
it
you ready?
gram and ounces we switched?
Don't think
You
so.
have to cancel.
Watch this, you ready?
Watch.
Watch, you ready? I got my red pen, ready? Kilo cancels kilo out,
Okay.
right? Grams cancel grams out. One on top, one on bottom. With me? Ounces cancel ounces. What are you left with? No, what are you just left with? Your units of measurement. Pounds. So now what you need to do is multiply 52 times what? 530. Okay, somebody give me a number.
1.835.
Again?
1.8356.
Over. That's 1.8356 divided by 16,000. How much?
0.000114725.
So that's how much a chimpanzee weighs?
In pounds.
He weighs 0.000114 pounds.
Is that right?
That's not bad.
Yeah, it's after the
I got
decimal is
23
3
pounds.
zeros.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think my thousand's on the, I think it's 1,000 on top.
Yeah. No.
Okay, yeah, because that's what I was confused about, because it's thousands grams or kilograms.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams.
That's what I was
That makes a
wondering.
lot of sense.
And I do, 1,000, so it'd be 52,000 times 0.035, how much is that?
1,835.
1,000.
1,835.6.
I divide that by 16. That should be right.
1.8.
Pound, right? That's not more
Reasonable.
reasonable. That's good though. I mean, I'm kind of glad we kind of messed up because you guys look at that and you say, what? That doesn't sound reasonable, does it? Okay, so I made a mistake somewhere, right? Okay, so I guess the point being, yes, ma'am. Send her down. Thank you. Okay. I'm kind of glad we made that mistake in the sense that when you guys we kind of worked through it together and we got to an end result. And our end result did not sound reasonable, did it? Okay, so I got to think that I need to look back at the work that I have and see where I messed up. Now, unfortunately, it was an easy fix, wasn't it? Okay? Does 114 pounds sound more reasonable? Okay, so point B is you're going to have on your test, you're going to have some problems that you're going to have to look at, and you're going to have to think to yourself, does that sound logical? Does that sound reasonable? You see what I'm saying? Okay, you're going to have to be able to go back and figure that out. Okay? Any questions? Okay. Let's do, you guys want to do your CYPs now, or you want to wait till tomorrow after you've had a chance to work on your prayer check?
We did allow it. That's fair. Now I was like,
Say, pass this up. Yes, I mean, number.
At all. And then James,
Okay, now. Listen, Scott, You got about 20 minutes of class time. I suggest that you use the time that you have in here to your advantage. Okay? I want you to run into a problem that you're gonna have, go home tonight and not have any help at all. Okay? You need to work through those problems and have the ability to ask questions here if you need to. Which one?
Hey, what's the one on
What's the question, Chris? Be specific. Now, don't forget, guys. How many problems? I worked what? 4 problems? Your textbook has a bunch more examples in there. It might be helpful to you.
Darn it, we're doing it.
Tommy, did you have a question?
Where do you start? How do you start problem one? Because I just started with.
Identify the variable that they want you to isolate. Okay. So what can you do first? Okay. Remember, a while back, was it 2-2 or 2-3? I told you guys it would be helpful if you'd save your multiplication division till the end. Remember?
And then you divide exponents, so you pay on those cells.
Yep.
It's just like talking to equations with numbers, you're just making letters
Yeah,
instead
that's
of
where I
numbers.
got stuff.
It's the same thing.
Same thing.
Instead of you moving numbers, you're moving the letters, that's it. You can move.
Hold on, Scott, let me
Just
help
like
you.
you move from 8 to both sides.
See,
You do that.
I just don't-
In what function? What function is that? Yes, or the opposite. It's not diagonal. It's always X. Look, here's how it's marked.
Over X
Wait,
or A.
It's supposed to be over X.
X is Y.
and I'm looking for X, right?
Hey, where's the?
What's
What's
everyone
X?
collect number X, right? Because our end result. So in the specific, we're going to say.
You would say.
Yeah, oh, no, the other things are not the same. Now I'm happy. You're gonna have X. So what's happening is they, yeah, so what's the obvious? Can you combine any of that stuff? So X equals what?
I would not distribute.
It's just like with the numbers. You're just moving letters instead. Exactly. Exactly the same. No. What? What? What is this? You had it.
Let's go. But you're being disruptive while you're doing it.
Yes. Now move away from X. You gotta have to take that. Yeah.
That's it.
Yes, so now you have that for yourself.
That's it.
I don't get anything.
Same way.
That's,
But,
because you can't combine it.
hey, look, on number 3, look at it. This is number 3 right
You
here.
got whatever you
Do the parentheses mean anything right here on number 3? No, they don't mean anything right here. Why? Because there's nothing in front of the parentheses. I mean, you can put something there. The only thing you put there is a what though? A one. I mean, what's the point in doing that though? Because it's basically the same thing. Okay, now, if it's peace of mind, to get rid of the parentheses, if you want to distribute the one, because basically that's all you're doing to get rid of the parentheses. Right? Okay, so now what am I solving for? X. So what can I do? Minus 2. Now what? Yes, ma'am.
I have a question on 5.
Is that 5?
Yeah.
That's 4.
Okay.
Again, what do you have right here? What is that? Okay, so you understand, everybody look, listen, you're having trouble with number 5. All distribution is what? Multiplication. What am I multiplying? The x times everything that's inside. With me? Okay, so if I wanted to say move the x, what's the inverse of multiplication? So can I not just divide everything by x?
I thought that we, like, any problem or whatever, I thought we would have to.
Well, we just went, the one we did in notes, we basically went the other way.
Yeah.
Okay?
What you like?
Yeah, the one we worked in, we had an extra problem up here. But we ultimately got to what? This. Because that's just basically the same thing as saying that. With me? So now once I divide by x, what happens here? They cancel out. What am I left with? I'm sorry, did you tell me?
Yeah.
What?
What?
What was the next step?
Oh. You were able to subtract 4 from the 3.
All right. Guys, look at this. No, it's not good. Driver base attention. Am I finished with number 5?
No.
Raise your hand if you know. Why? Gotcha. Okay, it's negative. Can I leave a variable? Is it considered isolated if it has a negative in front of it? No. So I must do what? Which changes that to what? The top just changes from a positive. What's a positive divided by a negative? So it just changes it to what? Negative p over x. Negative 4 divided by negative 1 is a see? Now, that must be some good lunch. Ah, yeah. Brothers. So what do I do with variables that are same? Very good. Combine like terms. Just combine like terms.
Yes, so, when we, like, oh wait, so when we, like, on number 6, we have to subtract 30y, will you subtract that from?
As long as you have one by yourself, you're right.
Why would you subtract 30y? Why would you move 30y when you're trying to isolate the y? The whole point is to move everything away from the y, so why would I move y? Right? Is there something else I can move instead of that? Exactly, how? Very good. Now what?
It has to be cross with
5.
5
Why would you want to divide by the y too? And aren't you trying to isolate it? So I wouldn't want to move that.
A is 2 times A, yes, it's the same thing.
Now, I will tell you this,
That's it.
more so even on this assignment, and probably from pretty much from here on out, I would highly recommend that you show your work. And keep your work that you show organized. And I don't care what you say, there's no way that you can sit there and do this in your head and just write an answer down. So don't even try. Okay? Just work it out. It takes an extra 10 seconds to do that.
These are isolating there. You gotta do
How do you think you do that?
Yes. Try.
Well, just, what do you notice about both of those?
Minus 32. Equals
Very good.
9.
Well,
Come on now.
are they like terms?
Yeah.
What do we do with like terms? We combine them. The problem is they're on opposite sides. So I've still got to move this over here. How do I move it over there?
Not 1.
How?
You're done.
Wait, are you adding it or subtracting it? No, you shouldn't.
Yeah, what's next? I want to isolate the egg, right?
Okay.
What's next there? What am I doing with the eighth?
Did everything you want from me?
What's that
Yes,
first
ma'am.
one? Okay.
Yes.
If I do something one time,
Fine.
I do this. Okay.
That's where I started.
Exhausting, isn't it?
So B equals.
One minus y?
Wait,
What'd
no,
you say?
no, y minus one. I can say y minus seven.
But that is the one B. But that is.
Is that the same?
Well, actually, it's going out there. R squared times 5 times B.
That's not really.
Yeah.
Stay. Change. It's really what? Hey. Sit. Something that may help you guys. Is to go on YouTube and type in that heading or that heading. You're still having difficulties. And you can also do what? There's my YouTube channel. You just type that in the YouTube search bar, takes you straight to my channel. So all this stuff right here that we went over today, where's it at? It's a lot better than.
They weren't mine either. So I
Hey, you know
just-
they can do them by phone. That thing is hooked through the phone system. So I think if you just enter like a code of some kind,